Trust your most valuable asset to River City Roofing.
Good evening, your local weather authority meteorologist Adam Sherwinski here, taking a look outside. Temperatures have been pretty chilly, especially here in Peoria. Looking at the Brave Law Center camera, not a bad view for the end of the day here across downtown. Just a few spots of sunshine hitting the buildings in downtown Peoria. Notice that we have a lot of precip up to the north. That lake effect snowfall not impacting us. We do have some cloud cover though, stretching from Iowa into central Illinois. Temperatures are chilly. We're going to see even cooler conditions for tonight, and cool is putting it mildly. It's going to be cold. All more details on how long this cold snap lasts and when we can see warmer weather coming up in just a bit. But first, WMBD News at 5 starts right now.
And first tonight, from fire to fallout. Good evening and thank you for watching. I'm Rebecca Brumfield.
And I'm Shelby Roberts. One day after a Peoria fire displaced 35 people at the Glen Oak Towers downtown Peoria, and it sent 7 people to the hospital. Now the property is dealing with the cleanup.
And we start with team coverage. The fire department deeming that 4th floor apartment fire as accidental.
WMBD Sheraton Hertig joins us live in studio to tell us the resources available for those affected.
And our Durante Matthews is live at the Glen Oak Towers to show some of the damage and how managers are working to get people back inside. And we'll start with Durante.
And Rebecca, Shelby, I'm sure you guys can hear it's a very loud process right now trying to repair some of the damage. There are numerous of these little blue fans throughout the building right now, trying not only to tackle some of that water damage, but to also take care of some of that lingering smoke smell from yesterday's fire. But one thing I do want to show you guys right now is this huge hole dead set in the lobby ceiling right now. Residents tell me as they were being evacuated yesterday, this ceiling was leaking water, and you can see some of the dangling light fixtures here and also through this hallway right through here. Now, we did speak to the property manager earlier today. She did not want to go on camera, but she did confirm that the first 4 floors right now are still vacant. She says when those in floors 5 through 15 came back last night, some were even without hot water. But she says Ameren came out earlier this morning to turn that back on. Now, she says the 35 displaced people are now staying with loved ones and in hotels while management tries to get them moved back here. She says they're also working on restoring the power to certain units, and they're ripping up the carpet and walls to repair some of the water and smoke damage. Now, the manager did not say whether there was a for sure return date for some of the residents to move back in, but she did say they're working diligently and hard trying to get everybody back in as safely as possible. Now, coming up at 6, you can hear from a resident describing the process as she was being evacuated from this building in bulks with everyone else yesterday. For now, reporting live in downtown Peoria, Durante Matthews, WMBD News.
All right, Durante, thank you. And we turn now to Sheraton Hertig to see how these residents are receiving help. Sheridan.
As Durante said, the Glen Oak Tower fire yesterday displaced 35 residents from their apartments. Multiple organizations got together to help the 150 residents of Glen Oak Tower. The Peoria Civic Center opened its doors to the 130 residents displaced during the day on Monday, and the Salvation Army's Emergency Disaster Services team provided lunch. Volunteers from the Salvation Army also gave residents blankets, coffee, Care Bears, and personal protective equipment items like hand sanitizer. While the American Red Cross of Illinois made meals for those displaced, the Salvation Army served the food.
People just feel so gracious that people just come together to help people in need. And that's kind of the spirit of Central Illinois that we noticed, that people just come together. So many different organizations, but we have a common mission of helping people in need.
Red Cross is still helping the 5 displaced residents in hotels by offering them meals. Shelby, Rebecca.
All right, Sheridan, thank you so much. In other news, the Peoria branch of the NAACP and local enforcement officials are partnering to improve trust in policing.
And today, leaders with the NAACP, Peoria Police Department, and Peoria County Sheriff's Office signed a list of 10 shared principles.
And our Demetrius Sanders joins us live in studio tonight to show us what this historic document means and how it could be impacting the community. Demetrius?
Well, Shelby, Rebecca, back in 2018, the Illinois branch of the NAACP and the Illinois Association of Police Chiefs signed 10 shared principles vowing to work together to rebuild trust where it's been lost. Today, local NAACP and law enforcement leaders joined forces to agree to do the same. Now, the 10 principles include endorsing community policing, valuing de-escalation training, and supporting diversity in hiring,
Peoria Police Chief Eric Echevarria says his department will work to turn those words into actions. In addition to signing the values, today Echevarria added the document to the Peoria Police Department's policy. Echevarria says the principals will help build upon work already being done at his department.
This is a guideline, a remembrance of what we need to be doing. And I'll tell you this, what I've seen the men and women of the Peoria Police Department do is this. Although it might have not been written in this shape or form, this is what they've been doing. Now all we're doing is putting it down on paper and signing and saying that we're part of this.
Now, Peoria County Sheriff's Office Superintendent Rhonda Guyton says the principals will help hold everyone accountable. She says as new officers are going through training, they'll be informed what is expected from them. For the full list of principals, you can visit the story on our website, ciproud.com. Rebecca Shelby.
Demetrius, thank you. Well, new at 5, there's a new campaign to discover and support the local Hispanic flavor in Peoria.
And our own Shabnam Dinesh joins us live in studio to show us how the Hispanic-owned Peoria campaign is highlighting and celebrating diversity right here in Central Illinois.
Well, Rebecca, Shelby, last year, Discover Peoria launched Black-Owned Peoria, a campaign introducing Central Illinois to local Black-owned businesses they might have not known about. Now they're doing the same thing with Hispanic-owned businesses.
Celebrating Hispanic entrepreneurship right here in Peoria. Discover Peoria on Tuesday, announcing its newest initiative, Hispanic-Owned Peoria.
A campaign in which we can promote and highlight the Hispanic heritage and the businesses and the hospitality around the Peoria area.
And showcasing what inspired them to open a business here in the River City.
It's the stories behind the owners that have chosen to go into small business and contribute to their community and really highlight those inspirational stories that a lot of us don't even know about.
D'Alfonso says the Hispanic community accounts for 6% of the population in Peoria, and it's continuing to grow. The owner of Jalapeno says he hopes Peorians learn more about Hispanic-owned businesses through this initiative.
I hope this campaign helps all the Latino businesses here in the city to let us grow and become stronger. He says he has called Peoria home for 23 years and counting. I love to come to work, see people from the community every day, and I've seen kids grow, go to college, and get married just by being here. So it's very important for me and my family.
And that Discover Peoria website features 4 in-depth interviews of the business owners, plus photos and listings for the other 20 businesses. To learn more, visit ciproud.com. Shelby?
Shabnam, thank you so much. After more than 2 years, Washington is getting a new city administrator. Washington Mayor Gary Monier appointing James Snyder to the position at Monday's City Council meeting. The council voting 8-0 on the measure. Snyder is currently serving as the Rock Island County Administrator and has a lot of prior experience, Monier says. The city administrator is the, quote, CEO of the city, and residents can expect increased economic development now that the position is filled, he says.
You'll see hopefully a little more progress moving things forward. There's a lot of projects, a lot of opportunities that we have on the horizon.
He also says Snyder is a, quote, no-nonsense person who will get things done. He goes on to say that the full resolution contract will be presented at next Monday's meeting, with Snyder starting his 5-year term on December 13th.
In the Twin Cities, Normaltown leaders setting into action plans for the Children's Discovery Museum's next decade. At last night's meeting, Town Council approving working with JRA Design Company for $55,000. JRA will work with museum staff over the next 8 to 10 weeks to develop ways to improve or enhance the museum's attractions. The executive director of the museum says these plans help give staff a better idea of what visitors want from their museum experience.
What we want to do with this 10-year plan is engage our stakeholders, our donors, our schools, our museum members, our families, to ask them how they want to play and how they want to learn, and bring in the experts to figure out the best way to make that happen.
And she says the plan is used to plan budgeting for future renovations of those projects, saying they look to enhance their agricultural exhibit within the next 10 years.
Still to come, from Central Illinois to New York City, a look at a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for one local musician.
And temperatures have been chilly across central Illinois. In fact, we've already seen freezing conditions last night going into this morning. We're going to continue to see cold conditions as well. But we were due. For those wishing that we didn't have the cold weather, we were due for it. I'll have more in just a bit.
You're watching WMBD News, Central Illinois Proud, with Shelby Roberts, Rebecca Brumfield, and Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates with your local weather authority forecast. This is WMBD News at 5. You're watching WMBD News at 5.
A local student is just a few weeks away from playing on her biggest stage. Washington Community High School senior Emma Jarnigan is performing in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City.
She sure is, and Janie Bowman shows us the long hours in commitment that Emma says it took to earn this once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It's the sound of hard work.
20 hours between practices for marching band, practices of my own, lessons, football games, competitions.
Washington senior Emma Jarnigan plays trumpet. She started back in 6th grade.
I hated band for a whole year. It was awful. I could play hot cross buns and that was it.
But now it's her passion. She's a head drum major in Washington Community High School's marching band.
It's been a lot of fun this year also seeing Emma being conducting at the high school, and just the joy that she seems to have.
And her dedication is bringing big opportunities, like the chance to audition for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
So I did. I was like, it's an off chance, because I've been watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade since as long as I can remember.
She sent in a video of a marching box drill and a prepared piece. A few weeks later,
I was in the middle of my calc class. I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. Call my dad.
Her work paying off.
Your heart just stops and you're like, oh my goodness, I made it.
Now she's weeks away from playing here. New York City in the 95th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
In our wildest dreams, we had never, ever thought that anything like Macy's would be possible.
And with the parade coming up, she's not too nervous.
I anticipate a feeling of instant family in that band. It's a lot of people who worked really hard to get there and enjoy the moment together.
In Washington, Janie Bowman, WMBD News.
And you can watch Emma perform in the parade on Thanksgiving Day. She's also raising money, teaching lessons, and babysitting to help pay for her trip.
And if you'd like to support Emma, there's a link on our website, ciproud.com.
And we're wishing her all the best. Now let's take a look at what's coming up on News Nation tonight, including On Balance and Dan Abrams Live.
On Balance tonight, live from the nation's capital, as results in the Virginia governor's race roll in. If it goes red, it will be the biggest political surprise since 2016. That's On Balance tonight. Now here's a look at Dan Abrams Live.
Thanks, Leland. Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. Prosecutors make their case against Kyle Rittenhouse, who shot 3 people in last summer's riots. We explore why he may have a real legal claim to self-defense. That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
And that's all coming up tonight on the fastest growing cable news network in America, News Nation, which you can watch at the cable and satellite channels on your screen. You can also go to newsnationnow.com to find the channel in your area.
Well, still to come, a top concession choice contending for best in state. The local high school trying to take home the top prize.
You're watching WMBD News at 5.
In Normal, a football stand concession favorite could soon be deemed the best in the state. Normal Community High School's A-Train concession stand is in the Final Four for Best Pork Chop right here in the state of Illinois. It's all part of the Illinois High School Association's Pork and Pig Skins Championship to find the best pork chop offered at high school football games. The lead cook at A-Train Concession says it would be an honor to take home that top prize.
It's big. We've got people that come out just for the pork chops, I think, sometimes instead of the game, depending on the weather. But we go through about 240 pork chops a game.
That's a lot. Voting is open now until Friday. And if you think the A-Train has the best pork chop, vote for them. We'll have the link over on our website, ciproud.com.
Bloomington Central Catholic celebrating a great achievement for the boys soccer team this afternoon. The Central Catholic Saints took third place in the IHSA 1A state tournament this weekend with a win over Timothy Christian. Central Catholic students as well as family of the team came together to honor the team for their top 4 finish in the state, the highest finish in boys soccer history for the school. And to hear the full story, you can tune in to WMBD News at 10 o'clock.
Congrats to them. Well, don't go anywhere. Meteorologist Adam Sherwinski has a final look at the forecast after the break.
We've got a packed broadcast for you tonight. If you feel like your orders are taking a long time to get to you, you're not alone. We're going to follow a product all the way from China to here in the U.S. The CBS Evening News is just minutes away.
You're watching WMBD News at 5.
I tell you what, it has been cool and cold, and boy, are we feeling it today.
We sure are. Well, I keep seeing those lows get lower and lower and lower, and I know. Tense up over here. Adam, is it going to get any better?
Well, if you look at the 7-day, that's the good news. We will start to see a bit of a warm-up here in central Illinois as I wag my pen. You can notice that we have temperatures climbing back slowly but surely. At least the overnight lows back into the 40s and temperatures overall getting back into the 50s by the time we get to Friday, 56 by Saturday, and then by Sunday, 59, 62 by Monday, and 60s continuing even beyond that. In fact, even beyond the 7-day forecast, we are expecting warmer than average temperatures. So we're going from below average to above average, not really in between so far right now. But hey, like the cold weather, it's here for now. Later, not so much.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. That's it for today.
And we appreciate you watching as always. The CBS Evening News is next.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to CIProud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.